I think that the best essays are not planned. I think that they're discovered, right? And so what I force my students to do, believe it or not, and my students, if they're listening to this, they'll recognize this. I force them actually to write their first draft of their college essay in under an hour.
I like that a lot.
I literally tell them, I want you to act I want you to behave as if I have a gun to your head, right? And I don't care if the essay is complete garbage, but I want it done in an hour.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
Yeah.
That's it. Something. Right?
I like that a lot.
And they come out with it, and it is garbage.
Right.
And that's fine, right? Because we can fix garbage.
Exactly, right.
We can look at the garbage and say, oh, that piece was good. Great. We're going to keep that. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Right? And then do it again and again and again. And we'll get like 5 drafts that way. Yeah. And then next thing you know, we have gold material for an essay. And, halfway through the 3rd draft, they'll turn around and be like, well, wait a second, I want to write about this instead, right? And all of a sudden, you have a phenomenal topic for the essay, and you had no idea it was coming.
Well, and if I may, Andreas, like this is where there's value in having a mentor and working with someone, because I'll also say what happened for me a bunch this fall is they'll write their drafts and they don't know what the actual story is until they get far enough into it. And so it happened multiple times to me where I'm like, wait a second. This doesn't make sense here, but did anything else happen? And they're like, oh yeah, actually this happened. Okay, well then hold on. That's the actual story, right? That's the actual story. Okay.
All the time.
So one of my students was his sister had personal tragedy as a result of a disease, celiac disease. And so he decided to develop this app that would help people with celiac disease find the best food options for them in their area. And then the essay ends, and he says, yeah, and then my sister, the personal tragedy is over, like she's fantastic now. And I go, wait a second, hold on, is there a connection here? And he's like, oh yeah, well my sister started using my app, and actually started eating better because of my app, and so that made her healthy. I'm like, hold on, like
he just ignored that in the essay entirely.
Yeah. And like, that has to be in there.
That's a miracle.
Exactly. That has to be in there.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah. And like, oh, I don't seem like I'm bragging too much. You need to brag about that. You need to brag about that.
Bro, your essays are not the place to be humble.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Like, even a little bit. In fact, like, and to be honest, like, have you ever heard the joke about, like, Harvard is like 2,000 little presidents running around the campus? And it's like, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, right? Yeah. Because, the whole process rewards people who frankly are like a little narcissistic, right? You have to be a little bit of a narcissist to win in this process. Right. And if you're naturally a humble person, that's going to be a tough thing to get out of you, right? Which, normally humility in like a social context is a good trait. Yeah. And, on a personal level, we want to promote that with people. But like, I'm just being candid with you. Sure. These admissions officers are reading, 70,000 applications.
Yeah.
You're not going to get ahead by being quiet. Right.
So
you have to brag about yourself, right? And if you've accomplished something spectacular like this kid did with his sister, like, my God, like, tell them.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Make sure they know. That's the craziest thing. Yeah. I had a student, it was a similar situation, actually. So he, believe it or not, had created this beautiful company while he was in high school. So he was doing a sneaker reselling business, but it had gotten huge. So he had actually done over $3 million in revenue before he turned 16, right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, spectacular.
Yeah.
Okay, like this kid was phenomenal. And, he had taken a lot of the revenue from that company and he had used it to sponsor, sneaker donations to kids in need, right? Really cool project as a consequence of that.
Yeah.
And he didn't bother to mention that to me until like 2 months after we had written some of his essays.
Oh, goodness.
He just kept it under wraps. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
oh, goodness.
He's like, oh yeah, I casually have this company. Like, casually. Like,
oh, goodness.
Like, what? How do you keep that to yourself?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.